welcome back to Maha Books. This is the monthly episode in which I try to talk about books. Here I speak about books that I read, books that I have picked up to read, and what have been the various journeys of book reading that I have done during the previous month. Last month I told you about 5 books, beginning with the Sorovaki's book on wisdom of crowds. I have been 3/4 into it. It is picking up very well. I have finished the book of Sudha Murthy, which I recommended because it is a group of short stories. The third book that I recommended was about Krishna by Ramesh Menon. This book I have been able to go only into a quarter, and the next book that I recommended was Men Without Women by Haruki Murakami. I am almost through it. Most of the stories are done. I hope all of you have taken note of my previous episode along with The Rules of Life by Peter Jordan. You guys must be enjoying it. Please write me back what you are reading yourself, and I will try to pick up a couple of them. Now for this month, what I have decided to read. My reading, as all of you know, is a variety which is based on various choices. Authors, genre, language, various types of attributes like mythology, self-help, etc. The first book that I have picked up is this one, which is David Walliams. David Walliams is a child writer and I love his books. This is called Demon Dentist. Here again, the crazy children, the uncle who goes into an aircraft, and somehow, as I have grown into an adult and gone through the main activities of my life, I am revisiting some of the writing for children, be it our own time-tested Roald Dahl or our own Ruskin Bond, who talks about speaking crows, who talks about wandering cow, and who talks about the boy who goes into the banyan tree. So all these are very exciting fantasy land kind of stories, which brings back the re-enjoyment of the childhood in us, the re-enjoyment of the crazy Alice in the Wonderland type of activities in us. The second book that I have picked up is Salman Rushdie, Quixote. Salman Rushdie, as you know, was sought into fame by his famous book, Midnight's Children. After that, he became controversial and he was banned from many countries for his satanic verses. Then he wrote a number of books, travelogues and non-fiction, fiction. He became quite famous. In this, I have gone into about 30th page of this book. And in this book, what happens is that he describes a character who suddenly fantasizes himself about a life which is unknown to him. And the language of Salman Rushdie picks up generally around the 30th page or 40th page. So you'll have to be patient in the beginning because his settings come very slowly, and I'm sure you'll enjoy this book. The next book that is, my reading list is this big book by Mr. Jayram Ramesh, who was a Stephanian, who was a Congress leader, but at the same time he's a very well-known writer. He has written this famous book on Indira Gandhi's relationship with Huxley, and he has written many other books. This book is called A Checkered Brilliance. A Checkered Brilliance, the story of Krishna Menon, or the biography of Krishna Menon. Many times I read biographies, as I have told in one of the episodes of my new Mahapatrans form, in which I am doing an episode on how to inculcate a reading habit. I have recommended biographies as one of the easy readings, at the same time, taking forward a story which is known from a different angle and a different narrative. This is a highly researched book. It brings material over 2 centuries. It also brings to readers declassified material, because Krishna Menon was the defense minister. He was also India's representative in UK, and his attitude, his tempers and his doings or misdoings are also part of Khuswant Singh's narrative when Khuswant Singh was a junior officer in the Indian High Commission in London. So a great character, one builder of modern India, but given a different characteristics. So this is over 750 pages I have picked up. Again, it is very interesting. I have gone through about 30-40 pages of it. It's very, very interesting. I strongly recommend A Checkered Brilliance by Jayram Ramesh. Again, this book is just priced at $9.99, but mostly available for $600 to $700 everywhere. The next book I am reading, I occasionally read regional literature and literature in Hindi and my own language, that is Odia. I am reading a collection of creative writing by the famous author Mr. Manos Das. This book, Manoja Srujani Samagra, that is the whole of Manos Das writing. This one collects his fictional writing. Manos Das, who was a famous literature, who is now out of Pondicherry, he is operating his literary activities, has been one of the foremost writers not only in Odia but also in English, and he writes in a language that is very, very easily understandable, short sentences, pithy substance, and he takes forward the story and gives a unknown and unexpected turn right at the end. His English translation is available, plentifully it is available online. Also his books are available in English. So I strongly recommend Manos Das. I am reading, that is the fourth book. So this is the 4 books that I am reading. Thank you very much. I hope you have enjoyed it. Please give your feedback. I have been receiving a lot of feedback from all of you. Thank you very much for giving your love and affection to this program. Thank you for listening to Maha Books.